If you want to kill your credibility in a business meeting in 5 seconds flat, here is the easiest way of going about it. Use the word very. The project is very good. We are very happy. This is a very big problem. Now, it's not grammatically wrong, but in British business culture, relying on the word very signals limited vocabulary. It sounds lazy, it lacks precision, and worst of all, it makes you sound like a student rather than a leader. Executives don't have very big ideas. They have substantial ones. They aren't very happy. They are delighted. Today, I'm giving you 10 advanced alternatives to the word very that you can use immediately to upgrade your executive presence. Let's start with performance reviews and feedback. Now, this is where you need to be precise. Number 1, instead of very good, say exemplary. Very good is what you might say to a child who has finished their dinner. It's weak. If a team member has done amazing work, let's call it exemplary. It means it's an example for others to follow. So for example, Sarah, your handling of that client was exemplary. Number 2, instead of very bad, say atrocious or abysmal. If you need to deliver bad news about a result, very bad sounds a little bit whiny. In the UK, if numbers are down, we might say they are abysmal. For example, Q4 sales figures were abysmal. It sounds objective, it sounds serious, and it sounds professional. Number 3, instead of very interesting, let's say compelling. Be careful with very interesting, because in British English, interesting can sometimes come across as I hate it. If you actually mean you want to know more, use compelling. So for example, that is a compelling argument for the merger. It means it demands attention. Now, let's have a little bit of a look at data. When you are presenting numbers, very big and very small sound a little bit uneducated. Use these instead. Number 4, instead of very big, say substantial. Use this for amounts of money, change, or for impact. For example, we have made a substantial investment in AI. It sounds weighty, it sounds expensive. Number 5, instead of very small, say negligible. This is a power word for negotiations. If a cost or a risk is so small it doesn't matter, it is negligible. So for example, the risk to the timeline is negligible. You're telling your boss, don't worry about it. Number 6, instead of very important, say paramount. Very important is an overused expression. If something is your number 1 priority, it is of paramount importance. So for example, data security is paramount in this project. Finally, let's have a chat about feelings. Now, British culture isn't overly emotional, but when we do express feelings, we generally choose specific words. Number 7, instead of very happy, let's say delighted. This, in fact, is the standard British professional word for yes or for thank you. So for example, I'd be delighted to join the meeting. It's polite, it's charming, and above all, it's polished. Number 8, instead of very confused, let's talk about perplexed. If you say I'm very confused, it sounds like you aren't smart enough to understand what's going on. But if you say I'm perplexed, it sounds like the situation is the problem and not your brain. So for example, I'm perplexed as to why these figures don't match. Number 9, instead of very busy, let's say swamped. This is a great idiomatic English expression. So for example, I'd love to help, but I'm absolutely swamped this week. It implies that you are drowning in work. People will respect that boundary immediately. Number 10, instead of very tired, let's talk about shattered. This is a British classic. Use this to build rapport with colleagues before a meeting starts. For example, it's been a long week and I'm absolutely shattered. Language, as you can see, is all about precision. When you stop using very, you force yourself to find the exact word for what you mean, and that precision commands respect. So here is my challenge to you. For the next week, try to go an entire day without using the word very in the office. Force yourself to use words like substantial, negligible, and compelling. I'm Frank, helping you do business globally. See you in the next one.